Hi everyone, I can see that we are live now while people are joining us on all the social media. Hello, I'm Khyati, one of the co-founders at Crafted and CrafTangles. We normally do this live every week. For those of you who already joined me, I'm sure are kind of bored with my regular intro. But for the benefit of those of you who are joining us for the first time, hi, I'm Khyati. We try and do adult crafting. So we pick up one project or one art form every week, and me and my DT, we try and use a lot of craft angles product and make something live with you all. So in case you have any questions in terms of how a particular product is being used, etc., or you have a question of why we are doing this step or why we are doing that step, then you could definitely watch these videos, ask us question live. We are pretty chill people. We take questions, we look at live chat, and then of course it's kind of like a back and forth. You can always ask us questions and we'll be happy to answer them. um, so while people are joining in, okay, I can see people have joined Instagram. I'm hoping I am audible and visible on all the chats. If someone could answer, that would be great. And yeah, I kind of do this every week, so I'm assuming that I'm audible and visible. I just wanted to let you guys know that there is a Freedom to Create sale, which is our Independence Day sale going on our website. So one of the biggest thing that is on the sale is buy two get one on our all made in India decoupage napkins and made in India transfers. So make the most of it, as most of our customers are doing, as it becomes absolutely value for money. And do check the same out. It will end soon. So do check that out. Hello, Vaishnavi Singh. Thank you for confirmation. Okay, happy to hear that you are a stationery lover. Okay, so while I add Anamika into the chat, then both of us can take our projects live and then we can talk about it, etc. So Anamika, you are live. Do you
Great.
want to say hi to
Everything
people?
clear. Hi, everyone. After, I think,
2 months.
2 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm back after 2 months. Yes.
Yes. So how was your shifting for the people who have
Shifting
been joining
was
us regularly?
shifting was very tiring and pathetic this time. And there was I shifted here, then I had to wrap up everything and all the saman had to go again somewhere else.
Oh,
Again, I had to shift this house over there. My husband is trying to settle down on his own. God knows. Total chaos, but that's fine.
hmm. Fudgy life.
Yeah, for the life.
Hi, Kavita. Hi, Dimpy. Both of them tell you hi. Settled in new place, Kavita. Yes, वही हम बात कर रहे थे कि कैसा chaos चल रहा है. So yes,
Yeah, I have
yes.
managed to settle up my table.
Hmm.
Rest of the room is still in the process, so maybe I'll take 1 more month, maybe.
हाँ, जो प्रायोरिटी का काम है वो अनामिका ने कर लिया है. बाकी होते
हाँ,
रहेगा.
हाँ, बाकी होता रहेगा. Exactly, exactly.
True. So you want to tell us आज आप क्या करोगे? फिर I'll then pick up mine.
I have taken up this small wooden piece.
Hmm.
So I'm going to use techniques of mixed media and decoupage. Simple project, but later on, this can be converted into a keychain holder by putting or by fixing few hooks out here.
Correct.
Or, maybe it can be used as a showpiece.
Hmm.
So
So a
that is
lot
what
of
I plan to do.
decoupage and mixed media techniques today.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know people will ask you, so मैं पहले ही पूछ लूँ, आप साइज भी बता दीजिएगा वो होल्डर का, if you
This
have a
is
scale lying around by any chance. I think 5 इंच के आसपास लग रहा है मुझे, 5 by 3 इंच का.
this is approximately the length is around 7 inches.
Oh, 7 inches. Okay. 7 inches. Okay. So for people who are wondering, it is 7 inch base that
Seven
she is
by
using.
5.5.
Okay. So 7 by 5.5. Okay. Okay. Please continue. Sorry to cut you.
Okay. So I plan to do decoupage at the center and I'll
Hmm.
be using this particular spring flowers. I think number 4 here. Yeah. Let me
नहीं,
just
आई
see.
थिंक
Wait,
आगे का है. 14,
एक
15
minute.
ऐसा कुछ होगा. कोड नंबर बता दोगे तो भी आई थिंक पीपल
हाँ
कैन
हाँ
गेट.
हाँ वही कर रही हूँ. It has folded. So
स्प्रिंग क्लास
24 है.
24. Yes,
Yes, this
ट्वेंटी
is
फोर एंड
24.
195 number.
Yes. CTTNPA4195.
Yeah,
Yes.
so this is a made in India tissues that we have created at CraftAngle. So that is what she's using. The design name is Spring Flowers 24.
So this is a resin embellishment, which
Mm,
is like a casting kind of a thing. So
correct.
I'm planning to put it at the center, and I'm going to put one of these at the
Flowers
center. So maybe
as a
this,
focal point. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, or maybe this. I think I'm going to go with this.
Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So while she starts, this is what I did. So yes, last week, I think just 7 days back, we had another live. Hi Pradnya, hello Sarah. So we had a last live, which was I think 7 days back with Sneha, where Sneha picked up texture art. So she used one of our recently launched product, which was modeling paste, and then she made a texture art for her home. So she took you through step by step of how she does texture art using a few texture tools, then knife and things like that. And what I did was I created these, since festivities are around the corner, I made these ethnic Indian envelopes that you could use throughout the year, whether be it for a wedding, for a new house, congratulations, whatever you feel fit for. So this was using one of our latest launches, which was these bases. So these are our newly launched CraftTangles envelope bases. Again, super thick, durable. So these are all pre-cut and pre-scored for you all. So all you have to do is just stick them and assemble them. So these envelopes, and then I showed you how to assemble those. And then, we went step by step on how you can use die cuts, foils, etc., to create such pretty, simple and pretty envelopes for your loved ones, families, or you can also, of course, sell these. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, Pradnya, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Insta. Wherever you are comfortable, you can join us. And I think Anamika has already started by adding a coat of white gesso on top of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I'm going to add one more coat of gesso.
okay. So, what I'll be doing is today, a lot of you have been asking us for some casting tutorials, recent tutorials, and all that. So, I was kind of thinking to fit a few every month. Like, I'll try and do one or two every month, and then other two, I'll do paper crafting or something like that. So, this is our art cast, which is a combination of a powder and a liquid. I'll get into it all about the ratio, etc. But this is a great alternative for Jesmonite for all of you who are Jesmonite lovers, etc. This is a great alternative in India. Again, budget friendly, easy to reach you here in India. So here are some of the samples that I had made like a couple of weeks back. So this one is from a box mold using some of our pigments and the art cast. So this is a circle and then this is a hexagon. So this is what I also plan to do today, but with different shades. So you can see, how different shades play around, how they work, etc. And we'll also talk about the strength of the casting as compared to, cement and stuff like that, because I know that's again a most common question that we get. So how strong are these? So we'll also dive into that. Okay. So I hope it's clear on what we are going to do. So how the packaging comes, okay, is you get a liquid and then you get one big box in which there is a powder that comes. Okay. So right now I have kept everything on my table. So I have removed the boxes, etc. But this is how you get. In case of art cast, it's a combination of a powder and a liquid. In case of resin, it is a combination of two liquids, which is part A and part B. Okay. Now the ratio for our art cast is, which you could clearly see on the bottles and the packaging that we give out, is 2.5 is to 1. So 2.5 is the part A, which is the powder, and then 1 is going to be the part B, which is the liquid. Okay. So that is how we are going to calculate our powder and the combination of the powder and the liquid. So Anamika is making a mixed media decoupage base. using a lot of techniques, which then later on you can convert it into a keyring holder, etc. Right now, there are no holes or anything on top of it, but you could definitely convert it, or you could keep it as a door hanger, whatever you like. So basically, she's doing decoupage on wood. I'm doing art cast. Hope that's clear, DP. Okay. So these are the molds that I'll be using. Again, all the molds, everything that we use, guys, end to end is available on our website, which is craftada.com. And you just search it with like a hexagon box mold or a circle box mold, and you will find them on our website. Okay. So now I have already done a lot of effort in terms of I have already, done some trials and errors on this particular mold. So I know how much exactly the volume goes into this mold. Okay. So this is going to be 100 grams powder. And for those of you who like to calculate, so I'll just write it on a paper so it's easier for you on how to make your own calculations, etc. Okay. Thank you. So let's say the ratio is 2.5 by 1. Okay, so this is powder and then this is liquid. Again, very basic arithmetics. I'm doing this so that, this is the same concept that you will follow for any liquid powder ratio. So Anamika is using glue. She was just showing you that. She thankfully, thank you, Anamika. She did not want to cut me. So she was kind enough to, just show you.
Arey, no problem.
So now I know that I need 100 grams of powder for this particular box molds. Okay. So the ratio is 2.5 is to 1. Now this is by weight. Okay. Not by volume. So what do I mean by weight is if you notice our powders or our liquid is the density of it is not same as water. Okay. So water is like a universal liquid. So what does that mean is 1 kg of water and 1 liter of water is same. Okay, so the volume and weight is always same. But other liquids like this art cast liquid or resin, etc., they are not universal. So their volume and weight will differ. So whatever calculations you always do, you have to make sure that you do it by weight and not by volume. Okay, basic thing which most of the people go wrong is they do it by they will add it in a beaker based on things like they'll do 10 ml and then they'll do 20 ml and then they'll say okay I have mixed and my reason is not working because you are mixing it by volume. It should always be mixed by weight. In some cases it may work, but in most of the cases it will not work. So always remember weight is what you will have to use whenever you are mixing things like jasmonite, eco resin, etc. Okay. So now I'll be using powders, which is 100 grams. So similarly, I have to find my X, which is the liquid. Okay. So simple arithmetic is what I'm going to do. So my X is going to be 100 grams into 1 divided by 2.5. Okay. So 100 divided by 2.5 is the amount of liquid that I get, which is 40 grams. Okay. So this is going to be my calculation that I'm going to use 100 grams of powder and 40 grams of liquid. Okay, I hope my handwriting is legible for people. And I hope this kind of clarifies on the most common question that we get, how to mix resin and art cast. Okay. So now that we are armed with our calculation, what needs to do, let us get into the fun part. And meanwhile, Anamika is already done with the basic decoupage that she did. Anamika, you can, now speak about your process while I'll just
Yeah.
measure things
So,
and pour.
so what I tend to do while using the technique of decoupage is I apply the decoupage glue, which is you can also call it Mod Podge, you can call it decoupage glue. So once you apply it, then you put the tissue or the paper or whatever you want to put on top. And then I use a plastic and then just from the center to the edges, I sort of paste it, but using a plastic. Okay, why this helps is this help in even distribution of the decoupage glue underneath, and it will avoid any sort of creases. So that is what I tend to do. So that makes, I mean, that is the best way I do my decoupage.
Right.
Like I have seen people doing it in a different way also. So whichever technique suits you, you can go ahead with that. But this is my way of doing it.
Got it. Got it.
So
Thank you, Anamika, for explaining. Yes, all of us have our favorites. As you know, all of you must, if most of you who are old here would know that, like, Paro has a different style of decoupage. Anamika has a different style. I have a different style. Sneha has a different style. So I guess all of us have our own favorite methods which we use. So there is no right or wrong. There is only what you are comfortable with. Yeah. So again, you don't have to be extremely precise. 8 gram, 1 gram up. So if you add a gram here and there extra, it's fine. But just for the sake of video, I'm trying to be precise. So as you can see, I'm putting a cup. I'm adding some powder into it. So this powder is our part A, which is going to be 2.5 times. So in our case, it is going to be 100 grams of powder. You can see how I'm measuring it. Again, this is a very basic kitchen tool that I'm using, nothing very fancy. This is the most common weighing scale that you'll find available on Amazon, I guess, for very cheap. And this works for most of my raisin calculation, guys. This is what I use even in my classes. So I don't use anything fancier. But you have to make sure, as I said, you have to do it by weight and not by volume. If you do it by weight properly, your resin, your eco resin, everything will cure properly. अनामिका मैम फास्ट ट्रैक पे अनामिका मैम थोड़ा स्लो चलना हमारे
no,
जैसे
no.
हमारे जैसे बच्चों के लिए ना कीप अस इन माइंड
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just taking out the extra decoupage paper, which I don't actually need to show against the embellishment.
ओके
So,
गुड
and then I'm going to cover it up with white gesso again.
so
Okay.
for people who live in a humid climate, okay, like me. So make sure that this comes in a Ziploc bag. For our brand, I can talk about. So always make sure that once you are done, seal it properly because this powder has a tendency to react with moisture surrounding you. And of course, once this starts reacting with liquid, it will start curing. So make sure you properly seal it and put it in an airtight box. Okay. Normally, I don't put it in an airtight box, but I make sure that it's properly sealed. That is what is important.
So I'm letting this dry on its own so that
Okay.
you get good amount of time. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to. I mean, this embellishment is a ready-made one which I bought. It is a resin embellishment. Now
Right.
you can use shilkar molded. Then you can use clay, naturally air drying clay, those
Right.
inside a particular mold. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to put one here so that you know how to go about it. I'm sure
Yeah.
you all know, but sometimes it happens that someone who's new to it may not
Yeah.
be knowing. For them, I'm just showing you one.
Yeah. So, by the way, there is a complete video on our channel where we show you how to use molds in resin, clay, shilkar clay, and art cast. Okay. And we discuss pros and cons of each and every one of those. So, that is available on my personal YouTube channel, which is Khyati Kothari. There you'll find that video. And, if you, I mean, that should help you in case you are fairly new. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, this is, by the way, this is 103 because this is box plus powder. I mean the glass plus powder. So I'll just do tear. So that will bring it down to 0. And then I'm going to add 40 grams of liquid. Now remember, this is by weight and not by volume. Okay. So go slowly. As you can see, most of the liquid will be absorbed in the uh, like the powder itself. So even though you may feel like the glass is going to overflow, it won't overflow. And if you are fairly new, unlike me, then you can, of course, put it in your second cup and keep that cup ready and then just pour. Normally, with the kids and all, whenever I'm doing it or in my classes, I normally do it like that. But in live, I kind of wanted to show you how to measure and stuff. So I'm doing it here in the one cup itself. Okay. So this is the liquid. As you can see, this is not water. And this particular liquid adds additional strength to your casting, so that is why they are extremely strong. So always make sure, consider, I mean, treat this like a chemical, but which is eco-friendly, unlike resin. And make sure you measure it properly. Don't just eyeball it, unlike how you do cement and stuff. That's another mistake which a lot of people do. They just eyeball it and keep on pouring. Okay, till the time I'm happy with the consistency, I will do it like that. If you do that ways, then there is a chance that your mold will break, because there is a precise calculation here on how you have to mix your powder and liquid. Okay, so you have to follow that ratio just like how you do with resin. Yeah. Now I like to use this beater kind of a thing, because this really helps me break a lot of lump and saves my time as compared to a wooden stick. So I personally find this to be one of the best tool when I started this art form. So if you are into casting and all, invest in this small tool. It will save a lot of your life.
Okay.
And remember sorry, Anamika, just last thing. So
No, no.
you have to, take care that this is, as soon as the liquid hits the powder, it has started curing. Okay, and you don't get a lot of time with this, unlike resin. So you have to be extremely quick. Okay, you cannot take your time and work like how you do with resin. So whenever you're working with art cast, start small, something like 100 grams, 50 grams. Get a hang of it. You'll know how quickly it cures just by looking at my video. You'll know today, but in case you are also doing it at home, just keep that in mind. It will cure in 10 to 15 minutes, guys. It is that quick. Okay.
Okay,
So,
so I'm
yeah.
using white texture paste and the Mask Delight CTCS 118. Let me just show you.
Okay. So, I'm going to show you, by the way, I forgot to talk about the technique. I'm going to show you marble pour technique. Okay. One of my favorite technique to make anything which is in this medium, which is art cast. And today I wanted to kind of go crazy. So I'd seen one of my student do this color combination, and I was like, yaar, ye kaisa banega? And it's one of my favorite combination of that day. So what I have done is I have kind of used my CrafTangles art pigment. So the colors that I have used is black and brown. As you can see, I have put 4 drops of brown and 3 drops of black. Okay. Now I realize that brown is sometimes a lighter shade as compared to black, because black is very overpowering. So I'm kind of adding more, because I want a lot of black. So I have here added around, 7 to 8 drops. And you can see I have kind of poured it in drops. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the paint down. Okay. So you can see I'm pushing it down because I also want it to go down. And then I'm going to swirl. But I don't have to go crazy with the swirling. Okay. Just make sure you go, let the paint go down, the pigment go down, and you bring the white part up and you swirl it. That's it. Swirl it 3, 4 times. You are done. Remember, in this technique, less is more. Don't go overboard and make one flat shade. Okay. You want such kind of pretty variations to shoot. Okay. So now I have kept my molds ready. So this is my base box, and then this is my lid. I have made sure that it's in a correct format. Now comes the fun part of pouring. Okay. So you can see how it has come. Yeah. Now what we are going to do is, remember, this is unlike resin. This will harden very quickly. So you have to make sure you tap it properly. Do you see the amount of bubbles that are coming at the top? Yeah. And then again, same with this. Now the lids are very notorious that sometimes the liquid will not go. till the edge. Okay, so just take your stick and remove the bubbles. So there is a airlock that happens, and you will see such big bubble came. Okay, so make sure all your corners are properly done. If not, you will find, I'll also show you what happens if you don't do this. Yeah. Again, do the same thing, tap this one. Yeah. Then you can break this bubble using IPA or any like lighter or something. My favorite way is to use a heat. Yeah. That's it. Now I'll keep this aside. Make sure it's on a leveled surface, and after 15 minutes or half an hour, I'll show you a demolding. Okay. Now, not all the molds are same. That is another mistake that a lot of my customers do, is that they think that, and a lot of time what happens is you see a artist doing it in a reel and you are like, "Arey, that guy demolded in 30 minutes." No, that guy does not demold it in 30 minutes. It depends on the mold that you are using. There are certain molds which are easier to maneuver. Those you can demold in 30 minutes. There are certain molds which are difficult to demold. Those you will have to give it a couple of hours before you demold, because you want your cast to be 100% strong. Why? Because you have a chance to break your casting. So, for example, a mold like this, okay? So this is a trinket mold, again available on our website. This is like a shell dish mold. So all the, like, it will fill everything here, okay? And then you'll get a dish which is shaped of a shell, okay? Now what happens is this, you have to like push it and bring the dish out. So this is a very tricky mold. Now imagine if I demold this in half an hour, it's going to break because I'll have to push it like this to remove my item. Okay. It's not as simple like a coaster mold where I have to just pop it off. Okay. So use your common sense when you are demolding things, that there are certain places or certain molds which are more tricky because they have a lot of nooks and crevices. Okay. These molds you will have to let it dry at least 8 hours before you demold, and there are certain molds which are easy, like this mold. It's very simple to demold. I'll show you. Or like a coaster mold. Then in those cases, they are very easy to demold and you can demold them in 30 minutes. So something you have to be careful, guys. And not a lot of people will show this to you, but trust me, everybody who is doing behind the scenes or who have broken pieces know that this is what you have to take care of. Okay. Yeah, it's not like, ट्रस्ट मी कविता, दिस इज द मोस्ट इम्पेशेंट कास्टिंग. लाइक इसके सामने अगर आप देखोगे तो रेजिन नीड्स अ लॉट ऑफ पेशेंस. दिस इज लाइक क्विक, 15 minutes and you are done. So now, one of the thing is that our art cast, as I said, it has a liquid apart from the powder. So powder itself is very strong, and then this liquid is what makes it even stronger. So if you are using like a plastic box or something, then immediately wash it, because if this dries on a plastic, it will stick to plastic also. Okay, so you cannot let this cure on a plastic or something. If you are using a silicone beaker, it's fine. It will break off from silicone, but if you are using a plastic box, immediately wash your plastic box. For the sake of today's live, I am doing a paper cup because it's easier. And then I'll just throw it off. Now I'll be doing another one. And this time I want to do like galaxy colors. But while I do that, I'll let Anamika explain, because she also wanted to explain some things and I'm kind of hogging the live. So please, Anamika, go ahead.
No, no, nothing. I am just now what I am doing is I am putting gesso on my embellishment as well. Okay, it
Okay.
was white, but still I would want it to be gessoed. Why? Because gesso serves as a primer, so it
Yeah.
prepares your base to allow you use your colors wisely. Okay, and it
Yes.
holds on to the color. So always make sure that even if your embellishments are white in color, you make sure that you gesso them. Okay. Right. So I have
One,
used some texture paste here, and I have textured the. I've made some pattern using the particular Damas Delight stencil. So again,
correct.
I'm going to wait for these things to dry up.
Right. Another thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that we also deal in the bulk packaging for this for people who are into candle making, trinket tray businesses, and all that. You can always DM us for a 10 kg, 30 kg packaging, and we'll be happy to give you bulk rates. So, this is just like making your cake batter. So, I'm just using a beater to. By the way, for people, I just wanted to show you. Do you see it has already become like a porridge? So this is like 10 minutes from mixing, 5 to 7, 10 minutes. You can see it has already become like a porridge. So this is how quickly you have to work with your art cast, okay? So you don't have a lot of time to think. So make sure you have everything ready. Like I have my colors ready, I have my molds ready, I have everything ready so that I'm not running here and there, for things after mixing my liquid. Because once the two starts mixing, your timer is on. Yeah, done. So now what I'm going to use is I actually wanted to do like a galaxy. So I'm going to use pink, blue. So I'm using magenta, blue, and then I'm going to use black. Okay. Today I kind of am using a lot of black because I already have samples with a lot of colors for you. So I thought let's play with some black. Again, we have like 12, 14 colors that you could play around. All the basic shades are there. And then as I showed you, you can always mix and make your own. So you can always do that. See, even though my colors were ready, kind of is clogged a little bit. So which color mixed in the cast? So in the first one, we have used art cast pigment, which is black and brown. In the second one, I'm using magenta, blue, and black. Kavita. So here I'm pouring 4 drops of magenta, and then I'll pour like 4 drops of blue, and then I'll pour 2 drops of black. Now I'm going quite heavy handed with colors because I just want to show you some vibrant ones. Of course, you could do pastels, which I have done a lot on my YouTube channel and in our reels. So in our reels and all, I have done a lot of like light colors. So of course, instead of adding 4 drops, you can add 2 drops or 1 drop and it will be light. So it's like chemistry or cooking food, whatever floats your boat.
Now, this particular casting also needs to get dry, but since we are like, it will take time to dry up, so I'm just putting some gesso on top.
Hmm. Okay.
But when you work, please make sure it is fully dry and
Yeah.
then only because it is still soft. Once it is hard and properly stuck to the surface, then only you prime it.
So you can see how much swirling I did, very little. Okay, I'll just, here I feel there is not a lot of swirling. So I'm just making sure that edges are also done. That's it. And then I'll pour. And I'm very excited to see how these come off. So again, same fun thing.
Okay, so now I'm going to use these colors, these chalk paints. One is cheeky coral, royal creme, and ivory lace. So is my palette visible, Khyati?
Um,
Here?
yeah, yeah, that's
Okay.
visible.
Okay. So now why I have chosen these colors is based on my focal
Point.
point. Yes.
See, I'm always a good student. Again, I just made sure that there are no bubbles, especially in the lid. And then whatever is left over, I'll just pour in. And you can see it has already started thickening up. So, you have to be quick, guys. You cannot be extremely slow because you don't want your bubbles to be trapped in between, or else you will get like a broken piece kind of a thing, which I'll show you in a minute. That has also happened with me. So, all these are things that have happened with me. So, Pradnya, these are art cast pigments. They are meant to be used with art cast, available with art cast. So, just search CrafTangles art cast. You'll find the liquid, the base, as well as the pigments.
So I'm starting off with royal cream.
So, now I'll also keep this aside and let this dry. Khyati is a first bencher. Yes, I was. I was first bencher, one of the top 10 toppers, all that craziness. The good kid. Anamika, did you apply varnish on top of decoupage paper?
No, not yet.
Okay. So the
I have
artisan
applied
nest. Yeah.
decoupage glue, and that has
Okay.
sealed it for for the time being. And last,
End
I'm
when.
going to,
Correct.
yeah, end me.
Yeah. So if you know our projects, Anamika always adds glue to stick the napkin onto the base, and then she seals it with glue. And then once everything is done, she'll again seal it with varnish or resin, depending on what look she wants to go for. Artisan nest, the colors that I have used in the cast, the first one is so this one is black and brown, art cast pigments, black and brown. And this one is black, blue and pink. I kind of think that pink kind of mixed with blue and made purple. But so pink is kind of lost, but pink is also there. So pink is, I mean magenta. So pinky yellow. So this is for those of you who are wondering how the colors look without the black. Okay. So I used black today because I want to show you the dark shades also. Lights I have already done. I'll show you some samples that I already have. But this is our green and blue. Okay. So you can see it kind of has mixed in a lot of places and made like a teal shade. But pure blue is that you can see here. And then you can see green, a lot of green here peeking through. Yeah. So this is the marbled effect. Now I'll show you also, throwing it from the top to show you how much strength this has. But only after I unbox this, वरना पता चला इसके ऊपर ही गिरेगा. And knowing my, uh, my luck, it will fall on this only. So I'll show you that at the end. But this is how the boxes will come out. So this is the round box, and you can see how pretty it looks like that yin yang pattern. So that one will also come out similar. Of course, no two boxes or no two pour will ever come similar. That's the beauty of this particular medium. You can never recreate the exact same. I mean, you can recreate the same combination, but never the exact same. So this is what I was talking about, the bubble one. So here I wanted to show you that do you see this? So I yeah, now you'll be able to see this. So this is actually a bubble that came into the box, and then you'll feel like it's been chipped or broken. So avoid such kind of oopsie moments. Make sure this is something which you'll learn, guys, with time. Every mold is a little bit different. Once you start practicing, you'll realize that. So, practice is must. So these were my practice pieces before I started taking classes and all those things. So you can see how, there is a hole here. So now I know that meko lid mein I have to push the liquid to make sure that there are no bubbles or it will look chipped like this. Yeah, and then this is how the pink and purple looks. So this is a pink and violet combination that I did. So you can see this is how the pink color looks. Here it has kind of blended and this is how the purple looks. Okay. So this is the pink and purple base. Now
Okay,
I'll
so
show
I
you.
have
Yeah, please go ahead.
so I have played around the The base coat was done with royal cane. Now at places I have actually mellowed down or watered down my ivory lace, and
Mhm.
then I have put in patches so that it is something in between the two colors. Okay, I'll give you a closer
Mhm.
look.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to take the darker color, that is the cheeky coral. Yes, cheeky coral, and I'm going to just use the dry brush trick technique. So
Correct.
take it in a, it is preferable to use a hard brush for this. Take out
Mhm.
all the extra colors. You can also use sponge, I'll show you. And I'm going to simply highlight.
Right. So the names of the shade that she spoke about are all CraftAngle shade names. So if you search with that on our website, which is crafted.com, you'll find all the chalk paints. They are all in stock right now. Yes, a tall first bencher, Pradnya. So this is just brown and white. This I made a tea light holder. Okay, so this is also marble effect. So here you can see I did a lighter version. Okay, so you can go as crazy or as dark as what I have done. So this is also brown, and what we will demold right now is also brown. So you can see the amount of pigment makes such a difference in the colors, right? So it's just a pigment game. Just go on playing with your pigments and you will get different shades. Okay, so this is brown, but very little. I think 1 or 2 drops I had added, not more, and most of it is the base, which is the white. There is also a white pigment which you can use if you want to, make white. Then this is just black and white. This is one of my favorite piece. So this is black and the base, I mean to say. So see here also I had that oopsie moment which I said, bubbles. So you see the bubbles. And you can see how pretty this pattern is. This is one of my favorite books. Again, the tutorial for all these are available, guys, so you can check it out. See, this looks like broken, but it is not broken. There were bubbles here. So, this is what I was telling you. Make sure that you push your liquid into the lids. Then this is magenta or pink with white. So this is just one color, all these. So initially I played with one color, and then, I moved on to multiple colors. And then this is transfer. So in future, I'll probably show you one technique of how you can use transfers on a art cast in future. Yeah.
Okay, so once the darker shade, I have, put them with a very, very light hand. So what
Right.
happens is all my textures and all my carvings and everything
Highlighted.
is like highlighted.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Oh, sorry. Can you give me the brown one only? So I wanted to show you how you can seal your projects also. So this is done with our varnish. So again, guys, this tutorial is available on my YouTube channel. You can see that. So this is done with our varnish. This has been living in Bombay ka barish ka season mein for more than 2-3 years now. Nothing has happened, as you can see. I've sealed this with CrafTangles varnish. It gives it a nice glossy finish, as you can see. If you are a lover of gloss, you can always do this, or you could also use another product which I'll be showing you today. So you could always, use varnish, which I have used here. So this is the gloss varnish that I have used with a brush or a sponge, whatever you're comfortable with.
Now I wanted to bring in a shade of green. So I'm using Prima's Lucky Emerald Wax.
Oh, wax swallow. Nice. See, even I got wax. Both of us are on the same page today. So I'm using clear wax. Okay. And what I'll be doing is this is our clear wax. So I'm going to use this to seal my the outcome rather than using a varnish. Now, why I like this is because this gives a subtle shine, and you'll see both of them are waterproof. Okay. Waterproof as in water resistant. If you put it in like water for 10 days, then of course, the water will seep in, but it is water resistant. Okay. There is nothing like waterproof proof. It is all water resistant. So I'll show it to you here. So what I have done is I have taken a little bit on a sponge, and then you have to just go on pressing it like how you'll press foundation or something through your blending brushes, the blending foams. So I'm doing something similar, but with wax. Yeah.
And lastly, I'm going to just elevate or make the embellishments a little more clear by using liquid acrylic. This is Prima's, I think, Amber. I'm not sure because the tag is all gone, but most likely it
Mm,
is Amber.
umber, your
Yeah.
favorite shade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can write off the bat, see that, adding wax enhances the color also. So if you see, this side is without wax and this side is with wax. So you can see the difference. Okay. So it intensifies the color also. And then after a couple of minutes, I'll show you the water test also. It needs a couple of minutes to seep into the pores and everything. Now, I normally like to do two coats, but with one coat also, we'll see how water resistant it becomes. Okay. So I'll show you. But this is how the color changes. So this is without wax, this side. This is without wax. And then this is with wax. Okay. So difference. And also one more thing that you have to remember is this is curing for 7 to 10 days. Okay. Some places which are very humid, like Bombay, it may take 10 days, especially in rains. And if you are in a very hot climate like summers in Delhi or something, it may cure in 2 to 3 days also. So that is why everybody gives you like a ballpark of 7 days. Kyuki normally 7 days may whatever is the liquid inside will 110% evaporate. Now again it depends also कि आपका mold, how deep is your mold, how big is your mold and all those things. But just to be on safe side, after 7 days, you can do varnishing on top of it, or what I use like wax you could do after 7 days. Don't immediately demold it and then put varnish on top of it, because the liquid is still drying inside. What will happen is that will crack the layer of varnish because it needs space to come up and dry. Okay. So always varnish and apply wax after 7 to 10 days. I have ruined projects like this. So learn from my mistakes. Don't do the same mistakes that I did. Okay. So I'll probably complete this entire thing with wax, and the other thing I'll keep it empty for you guys. And then we'll show you the difference. So I'm just like pushing my some wax onto my sponge. I'll also do inside. I'll also do the lid. Thank you, Kavita. So Kavita says lovely color. I think that was for Anamika. So thank you.
Thanks.
And with the also the thing that I like about wax as opposed to varnish is that you don't have to worry about brush strokes and all, because slowly everything will kind of soak into the base. So you don't have to worry about having brush strokes or doing it lightly and all that. So that's one advantage of working with wax. Has already started seeping in. Now let me see. Still kacha little bit. This is almost done. Another 10 minutes and it will be done. Wow, very nice. All vintagey.
So, if you want, like I might do it later on, I'm going to put some gold wash on top of this particular embellishment and maybe this particular. This is not yet dry. This is still very soft, so I'm not going to touch it. So, once it is all rock solid hard, then
Mm,
maybe I'm going to paint this with a little bit of gold color so
mm,
that it just highlights my particular central focal point. I think
correct.
that's it. That should be the end of the project.
Oh,
And once
I
everything
still
like
have things left.
No,
as
no, no. You
always.
please continue. Don't worry. I'll varnish it once these are a little bit,
Yeah.
settled in. Then I'm going to varnish it. So I'm going to show varnishing as well.
Yeah, actually, I want to just show the waterproofing and the drop test because I think
Yeah, yeah,
many
yeah.
of you would interested in the drop test. Even I am excited to show you the drop test. So I'm just seeing that ये अगर कड़क हो गया तो इनको मैं थोड़ा साइड में रख दूँ ताकि I'll be able to do drop test while this is drying. So you can immediately see, like these are now hot to touch. Okay, so that means that the curing process is going on. So it is like if you always, guys, whenever you are using resin or casting of any company, not just mine, most of them have written this pura granth. Okay, so make sure you read this granth before you start using this product because all these at the end of the day are like reaction kind of a product. So in a way, they are chemicals. Some of them, of course, you have to take precautions. Some of them you don't have to take precaution. So you need to, read this before you actually start doing it and then follow this. There are a lot of tutorials that are also available. So have a go, go through them before you actually start using it. One of the most common thing which people don't do. Okay, and then they tell us that, मेरा cure नहीं हुआ या मेरा टूट गया. So make sure that basic चीजें आप करो before you actually start using that product. Kathy, do you have colored waxes? I have gold right now. I know gold and so we only keep your gold and this. But I have actually one idea which I wanted to show you guys. I'll show it to you in future. Now you have given me one idea, Pradnya. I'll show it to you in future in one of the classes or lives. Let's see when I get time. But you can, so I'll show you how to make your own colored waxes. But right now on our website, you will find two, which is clear and the gold. And Prima, we have all the colored waxes. For those of you who are wondering, even the Prima waxes are available on our website. All the entire collection is available. Some of them may be stocked out, but most of them are available. A pure vintage panel. Yes, of course. That's Anamika for you. She's of course going to do vintage. She gravitates towards that. So now here what I wanted to show you is a drop test. Now remember that मैं आपको drop test बता रही हूँ doesn't mean that आपका नहीं टूटेगा. वो एक फिजिक्स है कि आप कैसे वो गिरता है, ऐसे गिरता है, कैसे गिरता है. If you go and Google, there are a lot of tutorials or videos out there where people have shown that Jesmonite also breaks. I've had resin breaking on me, okay, which I know people think is unbreakable, but वो भी मेरा टूटा है. So there is nothing called unbreakable if you damage it or you put enough force on top of it. But you have to, of course, make. I have had Teflon glass break on me. Okay, वो भी टूटा है हमसे. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है कि there is nothing called breakable. All you have to make sure is that कैसे गिरता है उस पे डिपेंड करता है if it will break or not. But it has a lot of strength as compared to things like cement and all, which is what I always also tell in my classes that we don't say कि टूटेगा ही नहीं, टूट सकता है, but अगर आपका सीमेंट जो easily टूटेगा ये easily नहीं टूटेगा, ठीक है. So of course, first of all, don't go out and try to break it, but I'll also show you that it doesn't break. Okay, now this is my camera. My camera is, I guess, at around 1.5, 2 feet. Yeah, 2 feet. So here right now that I'm dropping is 2 feet, 3 feet. Okay. So right now I'm trying to drop it from 3 feet. Let me see if where can I drop it. Okay. मैं थोड़ा. Yeah. So I'm okay. Saw. Sorry, it did not go here. So I'll drop it from 1.5 feet, but it did not break. So right now I'm doing it from the level of my camera. So you can see I like dropped it multiple times. And I even dropped it before the live also just to see because I get anxiety. So you can see there has been no chipping or dropping. In fact, यहाँ पे paper टूट गया था मेरा because of the because of the pressure of it. But so you can see it doesn't break. Okay, so it doesn't break. So this is how good the uh, you know uh, what to say the strength is. Okay, बट डज इट मीन कि मैं इसको शायद थर्ड फ्लोर से फेंकू तो नहीं टूटेगा? टूट सकता है, आई डोंट गारंटी दैट, बट बेसिक वेयर एंड टेयर नहीं टूटता है. अगेन दिस इज आफ्टर इट हैज कंप्लीटली क्योर्ड. सो आई थिंक इट्स बीन 2 वीक्स, ये मेरे टेबल पे पड़ा है. सो 2 वीक हो गए हैं, सो इट इज कंप्लीटली क्योर्ड. बट अगर आप, मैं अभी जैसे ये वाला जो मेरा अभी क्योर हो रहा है उसको फेंकूंगी तो इट विल डेफिनेटली ब्रेक बिकॉज इट्स स्टिल क्योरिंग. Okay, so all these are very basic common sense things that we have to take care. And I mean, don't expect that things that are still curing will break on. Of course, they'll break on you, right? Because it is still curing. So something that you should always take care of. Okay. Yes, yes. Ha. Actually, in my previous class, there were kids there in the class. So they kind of threw the coaster from like 5 feet of height also, and it did not break. So I have had it being broke, like thrown from 6 feet of height, 8 feet of height. It has not broken on me. But that is the advantage of not having just a water-based cast. Again, casting, maybe there are multiple people. Some people are selling it just mixing with water, so that again, that is not 100% strength. We have a liquid also which adds its own strength. As I said, agar isko मैं plastic में भी dry होने छोड़ दूंगी तो this will stick on plastic also. It has that great strength. Okay. So that it itself tells you the quality. Again, I don't want to boast or anything. You can always, try your hands, but it is very important that things like resin and art cast, you watch tutorials and then make your own projects. Okay. Don't just like watch a 5 minute or a 30 seconds reel and make your own experiment and then think yaar mera tood gaya. Do research and then make your projects. Okay. Yes, this is a jewelry. Sparkle of Art on our website, which is craftadda.com. Search hexagon box mold, circle box mold, you will find them. Okay. Again, very affordable molds. So I think this is good to be tried to demold. If we have 5 minutes, I'll take 5 more minutes. But you can see, I mean, I'm able to touch it and all. It now already it has dried, and it's I think less than half an hour since we have poured it. Starting के half an hour तो मैं as always बड़बड़ कर रही थी, knowing me. So this is how vibrant the colors have come. So again, you could do as light as you want. You could go as dark as you want. You can make your own shades. The pigments are mixable, everything. Okay. Lovely piece, Anamika Pradnya says.
Thank you, Pragya.
So now I think I'll try and demold. भगवान का नाम लेते हैं, करते हैं. Normally I wait half an hour, 45 minutes, but I think ये simple mold है तो हो जाना चाहिए. Coasters are the easiest. Simplest molds are coasters. The boxes are little, थोड़ा सा उनको, मतलब you can see I have to use like multiple hands. Coaster and tray mold, so I can literally like demold in 30 minutes. So you can see, ऐसे. It is still hot, guys. It's still curing, but this is how the. Now the lid is a bit tricky because lid has those edges, these edges. So I'll let lid dry. I'll just show you the box unmolding. Lid, I'll do it later. But you can see all this marbled effect. Now see, I did not tap it ekdam properly. Maybe ghai ghai mein thi agla kiya. But that's always a learning. Now I can always, sand it or make it better. Usme koi dikkat nahi hai. I can always sand it. But this is how it comes. Make sure you do enough tapping. Okay. इधर मैं थोड़ा आलस कर गई थी while I was teaching you other things. So normally I do a lot of tapping, so that is why you don't see any bubbles here, right? And another thing that I wanted to show you was the waterproof thing, right? So now wax is like यहाँ का जो wax है sides का that I did, it is almost soaked up. It's been 5-7 minutes. First layer is soaked up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bead of water on top of it. So you can see the bead of water is not going to be soaked in. Okay, it's just going to stay on the top. Do you see this? This is a bead of water. Okay, so as you can see, it will slide, but it will not be soaked. So it slid and it fell down. Okay, now I'll show it to you on an unvarnished piece. So this is an unvarnished piece. So I'll just put, and now slowly you will see that it is going to soak in. Okay. It doesn't resist. See, it's not falling off. It is still stuck. Now, if I do like this, it will fall off. But still, see, some of the water is still stuck. So, this is the difference between adding varnish or wax and not doing it. I mean, if you are using it like a trinket tray, it doesn't really matter. But if you want to, add another layer of protection, you can always add wax or varnish. It will make it water resistant, like how I did, and it will also enhance the color with wax. Always remember, wax and varnish will darken the color, and varnish will add a glossy look, wax will add a matte look. So, depending on what kind of look you want to go, my personal is wax. I prefer wax, but there are many people out there, I'm sure, who prefer varnish. So you could, do whatever uh, effect you like. As you can see, this is also now kind of solid. This was the second pour that we did less than 30 minutes back. So now, if I want, I could also do it with a light hand, but I don't want to be, greedy. I'll wait for half an hour before I demold this. Thank you, Pradnya. Yes, yes. So you can see, I love, guys, trust me, बहुत सही लगता है. I'll post the video tomorrow of all the unboxing and all. But the happiness that you get as soon as it's demolded is different level. I'm sure Anamika can also confirm to this.
Yes, yes.
इसका सबसे
And
ज्यादा
you
मजा
have to
इसी का
have
है.
that kind of patience also. I am तो
Yeah.
very impatient person. मेरे को तो लगता है तभी के तभी करो, तभी के तभी करो.
हाँ हाँ, मेरे को भी एक्चुअली इसीलिए ना आई गेट अवे फ्रॉम द टेबल. I don't sit there. वरना I also want to do it.
Especially
Uh,
with raisin, if you are pouring it in the evening, next day
yeah.
तक wait करो फिर.
या रेज़िक का वो बहुत है ना, मतलब वो 8 टू 12 आवर्स मिनिमम, तो वो तो
हाँ,
मैं
हाँ.
रात को पोर करके घर चली जाती हूँ ताकि नेक्स्ट डे आके देखो, तब
नेक्स्ट
तक
डे
तो सूख
हाँ.
ही गया है.
करेक्ट.
तो वही करेक्ट, 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 तो मेरे साथ भी होता है. इट्स स्टिल थोड़ा-सा वेट, यू कैन सी हल्का-सा टच हो रहा है. प्लस इट्स रेनी सीज़न हियर, सो इट विल टेक अ लिटिल मोर टाइम. But yeah, I'll drop in a video of demolding these three items. So the hexagon box is ka lid, and I'll then show it to you in the video. But yes, that was what I wanted to show you today on how you can create this marbled effect. So as I said, you could go as vibrant, you could go dark, you could go light, depending on how crazy, how many pigments you put. You can go as crazy or as less crazy or as vibrant as you want. So yes, that was my tutorial also, and as Anamika has already shown you. Anamika, आप थोड़ा zoom in करके दिखाना चाहोगे so that
हाँ, एक मिनट. I'll take out my phone. I'll show you.
very pretty. Vintage टैसा अनामिका का मुझे लगता है खून में.
वो
Very
अल्टीमेटली वही
nice.
हो जाता है, एनी टाइम आई प्लान टू मेक समथिंग, वो अल्टीमेटली दैट डे इनफैक्ट आई हैड टेकन आउट,
अब
आई
we
हैड
will
अ
take
क्लास
take away
एट
brown from you one day, and then we'll say अनामिका आज project बनाओ. तो ही
जो
मुझे लग रहा है बनेगा वो.
वो ही
Very pretty one.
अल्टीमेटली. इनफैक्ट द अदर डे आई वाज hunting down something, so I got hold of, I'll show you the diary, okay?
हाँ. Anamika ma'am, beautiful project. Kavita says, Ekta says,
Thank you.
beautiful projects. Thank you, Ekta. Thank you, Kavita.
So
हाँ. This is that Stampedia look.
yeah.
Antonio's वाला.
हाँ, एंड देन मुझे यही लगा, इनफैक्ट टुडे आल्सो आई वाज थिंकिंग मे बी सो, बट इट विल टेक अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम क्योंकि इसमें काफी टाइम जाता है. सो
हाँ.
मे बी आई टेक इट अप वन डे, बिकॉज आई रियली, मतलब वो होता है ना, एक बार देखो तो वही करने को मन होता है, तो आई वाज ऑलमोस्ट टेम्प्टेड, बट मैंने देखा
करेंगे
ये
ना.
इसका बहुत
मुझे
ज्यादा
मुझे बता
इलेबोरेट है.
देना, मैं भी कुछ एलोबरेट पकड़ लूंगी. हमने अनामिका जी 2.5 घंटे भी किए हैं. आपको तो पेशेंस होना चाहिए, हमारे पास तो है. हमने तो 2.5 घंटे भी किए हुए, मैंने, अनामिका और स्नेहा ने. अरे सॉरी, मैंने, पारो और स्नेहा ने. आई थिंक आवर बिगेस्ट लाइव वेंट 2 hours 45 minutes.
ओ,
इतना हम,
अरे बाप रे.
हाँ. और मेरा रिलीज के लाइव्स भी 2.5-3 घंटे हो जाते हैं, तो आई मीन आई एम काइंड ऑफ यूज टू इट नाउ. आपको अगर चलेगा तो वी कैन ऑलवेज डू। आप मुझे बताना वो दिन, मैं भी ऐसा थोड़ा एलॉबरेट लेके बैठूंगी।
ठीक है,
तो
ठीक है, डन।
मेरा भी ऐसा बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट होगा, वरना फिर पता चला मैं बैठी हूँ इसके लिए। अभी आदत नहीं रही ना सिर्फ बैठने की। इसके लिए। So yes, beautiful project, Anamika. Now you'd of course, like to see your face. Thank you,
अरे बाप रे,
Pradnya. हाँ,
फेस में
इसमें क्या?
कुछ दिखाने
अरे
लायक
बाप,
है नहीं, मतलब।
अरे इतने
आई
दिनों बाद दिखा रहे हो यार, ऐसा ना करो।
वेट,
ऐसा नहीं करते।
या
ब्राउन ले लो, कविता ने भी वही बोला, यही सही है, ब्राउन ले लो अनामिका से, और चॉकलेट सिरप भी। तो वो अपने
देन
आप
आई
नॉन
हैव टू
विंटेज
रियली रैक
बनाएंगे।
माय ब्रेन बिकॉज नथिंग कम्स इन.
So now you have one challenge, not to use any brown and or black,
ओके,
or black,
देन मे बी
and then you
I'll
do.
स्टेप डाउन टू रेजन या कास्ट.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, वही तो है ना।
मतलब it is very
नहीं, बट आई
difficult for me.
अंडरस्टैंड, ब्राउन वो एनहांस, वो टेक्सचर एनहांस करने के लिए ब्राउन लगता ही है। ब्राउन इज द मोस्ट
वो
कॉमन
डेप्थ
कलर।
डेप्थ आई फील
करेक्ट
वो डेप्थ क्रिएट ही नहीं होता है मेरी तरफ से.
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट, वो है। आई थिंक वो फिर है ना, वाइट से कर सकते हो, जैसे मैं पटीना पे करती हूँ ना, मैं वाइट से करती हूँ
हाँ.
फिर।
In fact, the other day I made a project. I don't know where I've kept it. I'll show you. पटीना से किया है, उसमें ब्राउन नहीं यूज हुआ है, बट ऑब्वियसली वहां पे कॉपर यूज हो जाता है.
हाँ, हाँ। अब मतलब मैं व्हाइट वाली भी बंदी हूँ ना, आई लाइक टू यूज़ व्हाइट। मैं कॉप वैक्स, आई एम नॉट अ वैक्स पर्सन, सो आई डोंट यूज़ अ लॉट ऑफ वैक्स। सो वो दिखता है कि मेरे इसमें शाइनी वाले प्रोजेक्ट आपको बहुत कम मिलेंगे, सब ऐसे मैट प्रोजेक्ट ज़्यादा मिलेंगे। मेरा वो
नहीं, टुडे
स्टाइल है
ऑल्सो
इसके
आई
लिए।
डिडंट प्लान टू यूज ब्राउन, बट वही है, लास्ट में लगा कि नहीं वो डेप्थ निकलना चाहिए, तो वही अंबर यूज कर लिया. बहुत फेंट है बट स्टिल इट इज
हाँ,
देयर.
आज तो आपसे ज़्यादा मेरा ब्राउन है, देखो,
हाँ हाँ हाँ, या इट्स ब्यूटीफुल, द कलर
मेरा
इज वेरी
ब्राउन है।
प्रिटी.
हाँ, मैंने
वेरी
आज
वेरी
ब्लैक,
प्रिटी.
एक्चुअली आई मीन आई टुक अ बर्थडे पार्टी लाइक 2 weeks back. So there was this
अच्छा.
kid, the birthday boy. He used this
ओके.
combination and then he
ओके.
wanted to do, and I said, yeah, it will be very dark. He said, I don't mind. So I said, okay, go ahead, do it. मतलब वो होता है ना बचपन वाला, करो यार, देखते हैं क्या बनेगा. So
राइट.
I liked his project the best out of all those,
ओके.
12, 15 people that made. So I was like, यार ये कलर मुझे भी यूज करना है। मैंने कभी नहीं किया। उसको मैं
वेरी
बोल
वेरी
रही हूँ
प्रिटी.
मैंने नहीं
वेरी
किया।
नाइस इट
हाँ,
इज लुकिंग एक्चुअली.
they even did like blue and black, so they took galaxy colors और वो किया। तो
ओके.
even I like that project also, तो वो मैंने इसमें किया है। So this is the blue and black
हाँ,
जो
दिस इज
निकलेगा।
ऑल्सो
So सब डार्क
वेरी
कलर्स
नाइस.
लिए उन्होंने। टेक्निकली अपना क्या होता है, वी आई टेंड टू डू लॉट ऑफ लाइक सिंगल टोन और वाइट। सो आज मैंने बोला आज मैं भी अपने कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर जाके कुछ करूंगी। एंड दोस किड्स वर माय इंस्पिरेशन कि दे कैन डू सच क्रेजी कॉम्बिनेशन, आई शुड आल्सो ट्राई इट ना, ऐसा।
या
तो
एब्सोल्युटली,
मैंने भी किया।
एब्सोल्युटली.
तो
एब्सोल्युटली.
विच वाज दैट लाइव, आई हैव रिसेंटली सीन इट विदाउट ब्राउन और चॉकलेट सिरप, अनामिका का। अनामिका का तुम्हें बताना पड़ेगा यार। ऐसा मुझे ऑन द टॉप ऑफ माय माइंड मुझे भी याद नहीं है, विदाउट चॉकलेट सिरप और ब्राउन अनामिका का प्रज्ञा। सो एकता इज ऑल्सो टेलिंग यू दैट नेक्स्ट टाइम लाइव विदाउट ब्राउन कलर।
अच्छा, चैलेंज.
सब
हाँ.
प्रेशर मत दो बेचारे अनामिका को
चैलेंज.
भी तो। अभी तो
चैलेंज
घर शिफ्ट किया
फिर
है
तो मेरा
उन्होंने।
प्रोजेक्ट बहुत सिंपल बन जाएगा, फिर मतलब 15-20 मिनट्स में खत्म भी हो जाएगा मेरा
नहीं,
प्रोजेक्ट.
15-20 मिनट अलाउड ही नहीं है।
सोचूंगी. लेट मी
सोचना
जस्ट थिंक,
सोचना।
मेरा होगा नहीं अल्टीमेटली. वॉट एवर वाइब्रेंट कलर आई चूज, अल्टीमेटली वो फिर से लेट मी सी. लेट मी सी.
हाँ, तो मैं भी थी, हाँ, 3 of you, यस, मैं स्नेहा और पारो थे। सो दैट लाइव और वेंट फॉर 2.5 hour। उसमें वो लोग ने वो
ओह.
मॉस का बनाया था, आई थिंक मॉस का पूरा
ओके.
वो फेरी लैंड जैसा बनाया था यूजिंग
ओके.
आर ट्रांसफर्स। सो वो दैट वाज द कॉमन थिंग दैट बोथ ऑफ देम, वो ऐसे हम लोग क्राफ्ट वॉर्स कर रहे थे ना वैसा। अभी हम लोग 2 लोग में ही करते हैं and मैं हमेशा सबकी अपोनेंट होती हूँ। उसमें पारो और स्नेहा ने किया था
ओके.
वैसा। अनामिका मैम लुकिंग एग्जॉस्टेड शिफ्टिंग की वजह से, ऑफ कोर्स आई एम
हाँ.
श्योर। आई एम श्योर।
More
नीचे।
than the shifting, because all mostly my saman is all, they are lying in cartons, because the house where I've shifted it's like a pigeonhole, it's very small.
ओह!
So mostly they have all been, kept inside cartons. तो एक खोलना चाहो तो 10 निकालना पड़ता है, उसके बाद
हाँ,
नीचे से वो निकलता है.
और वो याद भी रखना पड़ता है यार, कौन से कार्टन में क्या है, मेरे को तो याद ही नहीं रहता,
एंड
मैं तो सब कार्टन पे लिख देती हूँ।
Few of them I've written, but mostly, once I've taken it out, then I must have kept it somewhere else. तो फिर से मैं भूल रही हूँ. So that is the problem. But
ओके।
yeah, कल मेरा एक ऑर्डर था, तो मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. सो वो
नहीं
भी
होता
चल
है।
रहा है साइड बाय
हम
साइड.
लोग हम लोग यहाँ पे बहुत ट्रांसपेरेंट लोग हैं, कोई फ़िल्टर नहीं लगाते, थके हुए तो थके हुए हैं, ठीक है।
So
We
I
don't
don't like
do makeup
putting up
and
his
come, or we
filters
don't do
also.
filters and come, so yes.
Unless I am like, I want my eye color to change. Otherwise, I never put any filters. I like to. I mean, I cannot wear lenses. I am very allergic to them. So that is the only filter which I use while taking snaps and all. Otherwise, never.
No, sometime this time recently I went to a business seminar. So someone
Okay.
said the same thing, you have to be 100% honest. So whatever you are on social media is what people
Yeah.
will feel when they meet you. So it should not be like a social media पे तुम actress लग रहे हो और real life में तुम काम वाली भाई लग रहे हो। तो
हम्म।
ऐसे तो
नहीं, मैं तो घर पे माय हस्बैंड आल्सो से कैसे करके बैठी है ऐसे
हाँ,
ना. मैं
हाँ,
तो
हाँ,
घर पे वो बाई हूँ यार. आई डोंट माइंड.
हाँ, हाँ,
आई
हाँ।
डोंट
So
लाइक
same,
लाइक
same.
टू बी लाइक डेक्ड अप एट होम एकदम.
Yeah, same. So that's what I said, okay, I mean, she was also saying the same thing that a lot of time, now social media has become like all plastic. Like people want to
चलो.
portray something else than a real life. So she was like, be honest or your customers will never trust you. And I said, चलो ये तो हमारा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, हम
नहीं.
जैसे है वैसे है, बोल भी देते हैं मुंह पे। मतलब उसमें भी
And
नहीं
I
सोचते।
thought everything is like focused at the hands only, because we are working on the table, so hardly matters.
No, no, but sometimes I feel also Khyati यार waxing तो करा क्या ऐसा कभी कभी between us girls. Yeah, I look at my video and I'm like shit, I'm too tired. Sunday फिर अगले Sunday वो ऐसा होते होते Sunday
नहीं,
कब
today
निकलता
also
है।
I thought that अच्छा थोड़ा सा क्या करूँ क्या, मतलब एक थोड़ा सा लिपस्टिक तो पहन लेता है. ऐसे यार अच्छा. I just finished off my lunch and entered this room. I said यार छोड़ो. I mean, let's just start off.
So yes, yes, you see what you get. Pradnya is saying हाँ पटीना वाला ना, हाँ पटीना वाला में we did not use brown or chocolate syrup. ऐसा मतलब वही ब्लू टोन्स कुछ करेंगे तो आई थिंक उसमें हमारा ब्राउन्स नहीं जाएगा. I mean, of course, you can use if you want to, but without it also you can do. So yeah, everybody is brainstorming to give Anamika a challenge.
चलो, let's see.
So thank you, Pradnya. So Pradnya says you are all as it is beautiful. Thank you so much. We appreciate. We appreciate. We live for such such sweet sweet comments.
I have to give Pragya credit, because she had asked me for a class, and
हाँ
that was the reason why I had opened up and I settled my table and all. I said नहीं करना है अभी.
हाँ नहीं no,
Otherwise I
that's
was
nice.
just sitting on it. अच्छा कल करती हूँ, अच्छा परसों करती हूँ
नहीं
करके ना.
कभी-कभी वो है ना वो पुश एक बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है। मेरे
Yeah.
साथ भी यही हुआ है। मेरा क्लासेस के लिए मेरी वो स्टूडियो वाली दोस्त पुश करती रहती है, "यार करना क्या है तुझे? क्या प्रॉब्लम है?" मैंने बोला, "नहीं मैं कर सकती हूँ।" तो बस फिर करते हैं। ऐसे चिल्ला के मेरे को बोलेंगे, "मैं डाल रही हूँ डेट्स तेरी।" मैंने बोला, "हाँ, डाल दे।" तो you always need that push sometimes to come out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
a couple of questions. Dipti says, "What about envelope making?" So are you talking about the envelopes that I showed at the start? Where did they go? So these ones we did in our last live. So you can check out our last live on Instagram is also available, Facebook is also available, and YouTube is also available. So all three are available. आपको जहाँ comfortable है आप देख सकते हो. Apart from that, the envelopes which we are showing in our like reels, which is the Raksha Bandhan and all those things, I mean this Raksha Bandhan Ganpati wale, उसके kits and tutorials are available on our website. So that's a paid class. So you will have to, buy the kit. Along with that, you will find the tutorial and the kit. So all these are part of the kit. So this is Raksha Bandhan. We similarly have Ganpati and all also. So you can check that out. Yes, on our page, yeah, you can see CrafTangles. Just scroll down, you will find, just go and check the older lives. You will find it. And Mish Crafts by Rupali says raw and real. Yes, raw and real here for all of you. Kabhi kabhi to the point of rude, but yes, raw and real. I hope people don't mind our straightforwardness as rudeness, but we are simply straightforward people. So yes, thank you so much. Pradnya says thank you, Anamika.
Mostly.
So thank you guys. Thank you, Anamika. मजा आया.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you soon. अभी
Yes.
अनामिका वापस फॉर्म में आ गए, आए नहीं है तो भी हम खींच के ले आएंगे फॉर्म में.
Mhm.
Doesn't she doesn't have an option now.
Yeah.
So yes, yes. So guys, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you soon in another live next week. Till then, guys, take care and thank you for joining. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you, Anamika. Bye.